Hey yo, Gen Pop Gang in the building. Make sure you check out that top 20 episodes. You heard top 20 most watched episodes on the channel. You heard them chunky boys, them heavy hitters. Make sure you browsing the channel and making sure you ain't missing out on no stories, bro. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so that you don't miss no new episodes. You feel me? Share these episodes to Facebook so we could get more females in the Gen Pop population. And we ain't sword fighting in the yard all day, you heard? Check this 100 Racks and Better playlist. Every episode on this playlist right here got over 100,000 views. You heard? Like, we got some joints on the channel, baby. We got some joints, so make sure you saw all of them heavy hitters. This the all last playlist, man. If you just lazzed out one day and you just want to lazz out, it's over 100 different Saint Laz stories on this playlist right here. You heard? So you might have missed a couple, but it's definitely over 100. It's probably over 125 actually. But yeah. Hey yo, make sure y'all check out that 50 Villains Deep. You heard 50 different MCs, all from Brownsville, all spitting that fire. You heard? Why I'm not on the track, I don't know, cause I'm an animal. But make sure y'all check that out.
I almost forgot about the fucking belt that I had in my pocket, and it was already wrapped in my hand. Son said, yo, why you got your hands in your pocket? Soon as he said that, I pulled out that shit and started whacking that shit. Boom, I started swinging that shit for dear life. So now got me, he popping. You know what I'm saying? So the house comes, I'm swinging that shit. A motherfucker I wasn't scared when I first came through Rikers Island. I'm being honest with you. Like, you're gonna be a little nervous because it's a little different from where you know, what your comfort zone is. You hear the stories, you know what it is. But for me, I'm from Brownsville, and I'm one of the motherfuckers that used to have to fight. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Then, I went to Marcus, and Marcus is already a wild school, and I fucked up in there. And I ended up in this school in like Ridgewood, Queens, and Bushwick. It's Bushwick / Ridgewood. It's like on the borderline of Bushwick and Ridgewood, Queens. 75 is all boys in that school, bro. All boys. And no matter what you do in that school, you get suspended. You don't get suspended. And they don't give you train passes. They give you tokens. So you have to get it on. Like, dude was getting it on regularly. It's a couple dudes that was in the state with me later on. That was like Bart Sheen from the Sty. He got a quarter. Salute to him. You had Mac Murder. I remember he backed out on the principal. That's the last time I seen him until we went all the way to the I seen him again in corrections.
You said he backed out on the principal in the school?
He backed out on the principal, Mr. Soft the Word. He backed out on the principal. I don't know what the principal did. I wasn't right there, but I remember the police coming to the school. They said, yo, Mac just pulled the gun on the principal and ran out the school. I remember that shit. So, you had another kid named Gargamel, rest in peace. You had another kid named Alpo. Not the Harlem cat, a kid from Queens. He was retarded too, man. Word. He used to be in shit every day. Rest in peace to him. And you go through your little trials and shit in there. You know what I mean? We wilding out every day in that shit. And then, from there, I end up in Sparfit. I'm in Sparfit, have my little run-ins in there. And then, I end up in DFY, Brace, Ella McQueen. So I'm going through shit. I did 13 months. I was sentenced to 12 months. But they had my shit under some shit where they can keep extending my time till I'm 18. And I end up getting a 6-month extension because I was wilding in that shit. You know what I'm saying? And DF, like, you was dudes that, they had like a 7-month program that if you went home, that if you chill, you could go home in like 7 months. And here it is. It was dudes coming in there after me, leaving before me. And, you know, I'm getting in shit every day. You know what I mean? But I met a couple of good dudes in there that I ended up later on. Jay Diamonds, he was in there with me. A couple of cats. So now by the time I come to Rikers Island, it's like, you know, I've been away before. This is a different game, don't get me wrong, but I've been there. It's you away. It's the same situation pretty much. Just a little tougher though. I ain't gonna hold you. So I come through Mars 6, right? Boom. And I remember, like I said, I came through the same day as Gagi. Gagi got locked up in Connecticut, but they brought him down the same day that I came through. I'm not sure if he'd been to the island before that or not. I'm not sure, right? So, but I know we was the most talkative in the pens because, like I said, I let that little 8 days gas me up. It must have been the most. I came through. I didn't see a fist fight, even when I went to court. From Mars 6, I went to the Sprungs. It was this dude named Issa from my projects. God bless him. He was already there when I got there. He telling me how, you know, who's who and all this type of shit. But I was only there like 3 days and I broke out. You know what I mean? Boom. So I'm thinking like, all right, I got this shit figured out. So me and him was like the most talkative in the New Jack pens. Like 15 of us in the pens. And you know how they give you the 6 minutes to talk on the phone, let your peoples know where you at? I remember when Gagi got on the phone. First, Gagi, he came through with this big ass He-Man looking fucking bracelet, gold shit. So they let him out to use the phone. He didn't hang up in 6 minutes. Police hung up on him. He threw the phone at the police. Police slapped shit out of him. They started wigging on son, and they made him. He wasn't trying to send his bracelet and property. They made him put his bracelet in property and all that. So I'm looking at this shit like you know, in DFI you get restrained. I got restrained mad times. You know, they lay on top of you. If you move your face, you might get some rug burns. But I ain't never seen those. They ain't whip them out, but they whipped them out to let everybody know they don't play here. So all right, we go to the New Jack house. You know, now from there we meet this kid. I meet this kid named Rome. Rome and Gagi already knew each other from the street. And Rome was like one of them gruesome looking motherfuckers, know what I mean? He had like the mug on him, you know what I'm saying? Like even when he smiled and shit. Yeah, where he was in the New Jack house when me and Gagi got there. It was like 15 of us that went in there. He was already there. He might have been there like a day before we got there. So now when we got there and shit, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Like I said, he introduced me to them. Me and Gagi met in the New Jack pens. Like I said, we was the most talkative of everybody else's squad. You know, we run the routine, yo, we gonna stick together, hold each other down and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So we get the Rome telling us about the island. Obviously, he been there before. He don't know me though. He really know Gagi, but it's like we just all kicking it. So now one day, he said, yo, son, why you got on a shoestring? Because I had a shoestring holding my pants up. Because, you know, back then, some precincts, they used to take your belt and your shoestrings. So when they took my belt and my shoestrings for no reason, and they gave it back, they misplaced my belt, but they gave me my shoestrings back. So I had one sneaker with the shoestring in it, and the other shoestring around my waist. Holding my, cause you know back then we rocking baggy shit. You know what I mean? So I got some ACGs on. I got some black Get Used pants on with the black AC. I got a purple Champion sweater. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And I got a black Army fatigue coat. I still remember. So boom. So now we in the house or whatever. So Rome, like I told me, yeah, police. So out of nowhere, just so happened, some dude was walking by. Rome snuffed the shit out of him for no reason. Takes all his shit, and then he gives me his belt. I ain't asked for this shit. He just gave it to me. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at this belt. Now that's one of them big ass belts with the big ass buckle. You know what I'm saying? The buckle got like 3 of them. It's like 3 rows of them holes, It's buckled like that. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna use this for now. It's better than the shoestring I had. I was able to lace both my sneakers now, put the belt on. So, but I felt sorry about, because they end up moving Rome out the house. But I felt sorry for the kid, because the kid was one of the dudes that came through the same day me and Gagi when we was all in the pen. So here I'm walking around with his motherfucking belt on after we just was in the pens talking about, yo, we gonna hold each other down and all this type of shit. So I'm feeling funny, but if I ain't need the belt, I ain't gonna front. I fuck around with the gave the shit back to him. But I'm glad I didn't. But so now we start feeling ourselves a little bit, me and Gagi. So these two kids, another group of people came through. So these two dudes came through. So we start pressing them for their wares and shit. Like we veterans in the 4 buildings. I only been on the alley 3-4 days already, right? So the new kids come through, so we press them. But they went out. So it's like a 2-on-2 fight. Police come out, snatch all of us up. Man, get on the wall. We all on the wall, standing. Me and Gagi are holding up one wall, the other two dudes powwowing this man. I forgot his man name, holding up the other wall. So we holding up the wall and shit. Shout out to Powwow, man. Word.
You say he from Flatbush, this Powwow?
Yeah, he from Flatbush and shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we on the wall and shit. So they was like, oh, y'all think y'all, you know. Oh, before I even get into that, right? You know how when you first come through, they give you like TB tests and all that?
Yeah.
So, and then they come check it like a few days later. I remember the nurse came with 2 COs to check the dude's TB test. So I'm standing, I went right before the kid, showed them mines, I'm good. So another kid, I ain't know this kid, he was a Spanish kid too. And he had some kind of dispute with them. I don't know what it was, but all I know is the 2 police that was with the nurse, they commenced to beat the shit out this kid. So now I ain't never see the kid again. But this the second time in like a 3-day period where I seen police put hands on a motherfucker. First, the Gagi shit when we was in the receiving room, first coming through before we even went to Mars 6, and then this shit. So now in my mind, I'm a 16-year-old kid, I'm sitting there like, police is on a different type of time. This ain't no DFY stab shit. They wasn't beating dudes like that as far as what I seen. I seen them beat this kid named, well, I ain't seen it, but I heard about it. My son Smooch, he from Queens and shit. And we was at Ella McQueen together. I remember they wrecked him. He came back through, he was fucked up. But I ain't never really seen no shit like that. So, and mind you, in DFY, they dressed in regular clothes. They, you know they staff, but these motherfuckers on the island, first of all, they dress like police. You know what I mean? They police, but they dress like the police in the street. So you looking at this shit, now this my first, I'm like, oh, I'm looking at this shit like they beat this motherfucker right in front of us. Like, this is what they do. So, but anyway, getting back to the me and Gagi shit, so we holding up the wall, all 4 of us. So now they say, go pack your shit. We packed like about 10 other dudes up. And now, I've been on this route before. Last time they told me to pack about the house, I went to the Sprung. I'm thinking that's what it is again. This time, they sent me to Mar 9. They start calling out names. Y'all go to this side, y'all go to that side. You know what I mean? So just so happened, I'm on the south side. So I goes in the house, like I told you before, something must have just happened. I don't know if they just cut something. I don't know what the fuck just happened. But all the motherfuckers was on the bed. When we got in there, police literally handed us the phone, the receivers, and said, go ahead, y'all use the phone, I guess, because we ain't have nothing to do with whatever happened. So while we getting on the phone, dude's like, yo, shorty, I'm telling you, man. Yeah, dude's like, yo, shorty, man, yo, you violate, like, all that type of shit. And I'm sitting there like, man, I gotta make this motherfucking phone call, you know what I mean? I call Mama Bear. I'm talking to her about regular shit. She like, you all right? You all right? Yeah, I'm good. Like, and I'm sitting there like, I ain't good, man. But I ain't telling her that, but, Gagi on the other phone and shit. But as I'm on the phone, I'm seeing seeing some of the dudes that came in the house with me go into that bathroom and come out with different shit on. So I already know what it's hitting for. Like, I ain't never been to the Allen, but I ain't stupid. Like, I'm seeing what the fuck going on. It's only a matter of time before they say you and you. You know what I mean? So now, I go to the bed on Broadway. I don't know nothing about that Broadway shit. Me and we sitting there. So they call Gotti. He goes in the bathroom. Now, when they call the bathroom, they call me. Now, check this out. But I'm already seeing what's going on. So, I forgot to tell you some shit. This is some funny shit. Yo, I got to tell you this. While I'm in Mars 6, I get a business, so I got another change of clothes. But my peoples didn't bring a belt, so I'm still stuck with this big-ass belt. So now, they bring me a change of clothes. Now, by the time I'm in Mars 6, Mars 9, I got two outfits. The outfit I came in with and another outfit. So I'm thinking, I'm seeing dudes coming out with different shit on. I'm knowing what's going on in that bathroom. I don't want to get robbed. So what I do is, I take the other pair of pants that I had in the bag, and I slide that on the pants that I already got on. But this the crazy shit. The pants that I already got on, both of them shits is baggy, but the pants that I already got on is more baggier than the pants that I'm trying to put on over the shit. So now I put the shit on, and I put my other shirt on top of the shirt that I already had, but that ended up being adjusted, and I ain't even planned this. I swear to God, I didn't plan this. You know what I mean? It's just the pants that I put on, it ended up fitting. It ended up keeping the pants that was baggy up without the belt. You understand what I'm saying? Mm. So now I got the belt, and the idea hit me. I took the belt, mind you, I got this big ass, funny ass belt. I wrapped that motherfucker around my hand where the buckle was out. You know, I got my coat back on. I got two outfits on at the same time. I had little t-shirts and all that stupid shit, but I ain't give a fuck about none of that. I put my motherfucking hands in my pocket. I already knew they was gonna call me because I already seen them calling other people. I'm glad they ain't called me first because I wouldn't have had a chance to set up all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just happened to be like the last or one of the, I don't even know what order I was in, but I know I was nowhere near first. Dog. I had enough time to do some shit. So now when they called me, so now, you know, the veteran me would have just started popping. Me, I'm all fucking going along with the fucking program and shit. You know what I mean? So I goes in the motherfucking house. I goes in the bathroom. I literally see a motherfucker, he was ass naked, putting his clothes back on. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? You know, I'm thinking like, what the fuck? They like, yo, listen, man, everybody gotta go through this shit. You know what I'm saying? We make dudes strip and all this and all that. You know what I mean? Boom. So now, we make dudes strip and all that because dudes might come through with weapons and shit like that. So I'm like, yo, this motherfuckers is crazy. So, but you know how somebody, they not even coming on some aggressive shit. I think I would rather for them to just come on some aggressive shit. Nah. Like, I ain't taking my clothes off, and you got to be out your motherfucker. I ain't even want to do it for the, I remember when the police, that first motherfucker stripping, they take their clothes off. I'm looking at them like he's crazy. Like, are you serious? You know what I mean? But, you know, but these, I was not, hell no. Like, nah, I don't give a fuck if I just started Rikers Island an hour before that. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? And so once he do that, now the other dude, I almost forgot about the fucking belt that I had in my pocket, and it was already wrapped in my hand. Son said, yo, why you got your hands in your pocket? Soon as he said that, I pulled out that shit and started whacking that shit. Boom, I started swinging that shit for dear life. So now, he popping, you know what I'm saying? So the house comes, I'm swinging that shit. It got to the point where I wasn't even hitting nobody. I'm just keeping them motherfuckers off me. Like I said, that belt had a big-ass buckle on it. I'm so glad my peoples didn't bring me no belt, because they wouldn't have brought me no shit like that. That shit ended up coming in handy. You know what I'm saying? I remember walking on the bed like, who forgot the belt? Yeah. You know what I mean? But that shit ended up coming in handy. So I'm swinging for dear life. And then the crazy shit, it was this police. The police came. They got us off the shit. They took us up out of there. And by the time we got up out of there, and, you know, we in the hallway, me, Gagi, it was like the same situation like when we was in Mars 6, when we got it on with each other. Only difference is, it wasn't Pow Wow, his man ain't come out, it was just us three in the hallway. But Son came out with one sneaker on, like I said, and then the other dude came out and was like, damn, who the fuck was it? And he threw Son his sneaker. He was like, yo, you good? Son was like, I ain't going fucking back in there. I was like, nigga, go. You know what I mean? He was like, nah, man. So I don't know where they end up sending him. But you know where they sent me at? I don't even know where they sent Gotti. They sent me to 2 Main. So now I go to 2 Main. That's the first time I ever been inside of a cell house. I was in Spofford. Those is rooms. I never been, this shit is some shit where the doors slide open. I never seen no shit like that except on TV. And I remember all the walls being this funny ass color green. The shit just looked so bugged out to me, like this shit was no Sprungs. You know what I mean? This shit looked like it was worse than the shit I just came up out of. You know what I'm saying? So I just got it on the good thing. The crazy shit is, you know, I lost my little t-shirts and shit, but I still had my army coat on. I still had all my 2 outfits on and all that. You know what I mean? Boom, my 2 pair of pants and all that. Boom. So they sent me, you know, as I walked by, I see 2 dudes on the phone. And it looked like one of them familiar, but I just kept it pushing to my cell. So I go to my cell, and like about 20 minutes later, and I got there during the 2:30, 4:30 count, but I don't know it's a no count. I just see there's nobody out there. A dude come to my cell, yo, Griff. I look, you know, in DFY, they call you by your last name. It's somebody that was in DFY with me. This kid, he was from the Bronx, though. He was like, yo, so we start talking about DFY. We talking about our cases. Some was locked up for a body or some shit. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, you should be going home. You good. You know what I mean? Boom. He was like, yo, I forgot what time he had, but I'm just going to say, let's say he had 7 to 8. I'm making that up, but I forgot. I know it was an hour. I just forgot what exact time. He told me that I could get half of that. I don't know nothing about all this. Yo, I kid you not. Literally. Like about 10 minutes after he left my cell, another dude came to my cell. It was the other dude that was on the phone, I guess. He showed me a razor. Like 2 Main had some shit where, like, it wasn't a tray flop, but it was like a gate. You know, got the door, but it got the gate, but it got a little shit where you can stick your hand in, or you can stick your hand out. So he had his hand in my cell with a razor. He was like, yo, man, one of my enforcers told me that you trying to dab me on my phone time. Like, what? So he told me the same exact time that this dude Shy just told me that I can have, that was his, and I ain't even asked for it. So I ain't going front. I think the most corniest shit. I'm calling this motherfucker, yo, Shy, yo, Shy. This motherfucker ain't even answering me. This motherfucker got a razor in his cell, taking it from the gate. You know, he in his cell, he got the hand in his cell and all that type of shit. And I'm looking at this shit like, this shit can't be happening. Like, really? So man, he said, so now he trying to hit me with, yo, listen, I tell you what. I mean, you know, some stupid shit, you know, I'm a forgiving man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that jacket, them kicks, like I had them ACGs, them shit was popping. This 1992, this shit was popping at this time, you know what I mean? And you know, we even. I'm like, nah, that's not happening. He's like, I'll see you when we come out. Now I don't know about no 2:35. I don't even know what time we coming out. So no sooner he said that, like about a half an hour later, bro, I hear, everybody get the fuck on the gate. It wasn't no regular search, as I would learn later. It was ERU. They happened to come the same day, like after he left my gate. They all came to the fucking house on some search down shit. I never been in a search down before. And the fact that my first search down was an ERU search down, that shit, now they call them ESU, but you know back then it was ERU, you know what I mean? And they wasn't playing back then. So I ain't know who these motherfuckers were. Their uniform was a little bit different from regular CO shits, but I knew they were CO. And all the motherfuckers big, and they opened all the cells. I start seeing everybody for the first time. You know what I mean? They made all of us go in the day room. They said, yo, anybody who got a fucking weapon, leave and go to your cell and get it. I don't know if nobody went out, but I just happened to be standing right behind the motherfucker that just had the razor dangling in my motherfucking spot. You know what I mean? Boom. So now it was a dude named Wop that was there. Wop. Me and him got cool later on down the line. Salute to Wop, man. You know what I mean? Boom. But make a long story short, I'm looking at this motherfucker. He like literally before they got us. You know how they got your elbows on the man in front of you, shoulders and shit. So I'm mad close to this motherfucker who got this shit like he just like pressed me in my cell. But they end up telling all of us to find a position on the floor. Then they started making us do push-ups. The police start making the ERU, and nobody detested this shit. Everybody did it. Everybody was doing it. And one dude, he couldn't do no more, and he fell. And they beat the shit out this motherfucker right in front of him. Now again, this the third time within a week time that I seen police wail on him off. They beat him because he couldn't even do, and I ain't going front. Yo, bro, I wasn't on no workout shit back then, bro.
I wouldn't have been able to do them shits either. They'd have had to fuck me up.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know where that inner strength came from, but I did that shit. I seen what they did, because I was about to fall too. But when I seen what they did to him, that's, man, I don't know. I just got a second brush of energy. So, that shit just, you know, I wasn't even thinking about the dude who put all in front of my cell like that. I wasn't even thinking about him no more. I just seen him. Now, mind you, I just seen 3 different incidents where police whacked on him up. So my look on them at the beginning was like, this ain't no DFY staff. They fuck motherfuckers up. So I'm literally respecting they gangster at this point. Now later on it was something different, but at this point, boom. So now, we go back to our cells or whatever the case may be. The whole fucking gallery is fucked up. All kinds of shit in the middle. I ain't never seen no type. I ain't have shit. And so it wasn't much for me to fix up. So when I go on my spot, cells closed or whatever, I see dudes cleaning up, and then we came about our cells. And then once we came about ourselves, everybody talking about the search. I'm in the day room. I'm not even thinking about dudes, but I'm thinking about dudes. But I'm thinking like, all right, they ain't think about me no more. You know what I mean? They think about this motherfucking search that just happened or whatever the case may be. Man, I was mistaken there because they sure pressed me again. And I don't know if I popped. I'm not going to say I did or they popped. But whatever the case is, I wasn't coming out enough. Oh, by the way, I did have my 2 sets of clothes on. Because it was something about me not losing nothing that was really like high, like I placed high values on that. It was just something, you know, I was mad that I lost the underclothes in Mar 9. I was mad about that. But this time I ain't going front. They caught my army coat, you know what I mean? That I didn't have on. I left that in my cell.
You talking about why niggas jumped you, niggas took the army coat?
No, I just never got it. Like when you leave a house, I ain't like they let me pack shit up. They just, you know what I mean? Whatever they put in the blanket, it was some bullshit. So, but just so happened, I left the house. We just got, but this time, you know, my shirt got ripped. I didn't have my coat on. My coat was in my spot. I ain't never get that back. You know what I'm saying? But I went the fuck out. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I didn't leave with them just acting like, because I would have just still been there. That's the whole thing. If from what I seen, this is what I seen early. The only way you can stay in a house, you're like, it's just because you in a house don't mean you live it. But the only way, if you not, and then you got to worry about somebody fucking with you every day. Nah, I ain't going through all that. Nah, fuck all that. I'm out of there. So I ended up in 2 Upper. So now I'm in 2 Upper. Now, just so happened, the first dude I seen when I came to 2 Upper was this kid named Rado. Rado was in 2 Upper. Rado from NA Rock, salute to him. You know what I'm saying? Boom. He pressed me as soon as I'm in my cell. Once again, the first thing he said, well, he said he don't remember this shit. I brought this shit up to him years later. He said, yo, you go shopping? And by this time, I'm already pumped up. My shirt ripped. You know what I mean? My outer shirt is ripped. I'm mad as a motherfucker. I just got ran out of 2 houses in the same fucking day. This ain't the little 8 days I did the first time. So now I'm ready to pop him in his motherfucking mouth. But just so happened before I got a chance to do that, my son Fang, I don't know Fangs at this time either. I just know Fang from seeing him around Brownsville. I seen him, he seen me. You know what I mean? He from Tilden, I'm from Van Dyke. So Fangs came out, and Fangs was like, yo, you from Brownsville? You know what I mean? Yeah, no question. He was like, nah, he acted like he knew me for years. You know what I mean? Or some like, yo, just like show me a lot of love. I ain't gonna hold you. Gave me some bud, asked me if I needed some food, like literally like, yo, get on the phone, like on some real shit, like on some real Brownsville love shit, like son really rolled out the red carpet for me. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You know what I'm saying? Boom, me and Rado end up getting cool. You know what I'm saying? Boom. It was France was there. I met France, that's where I met France at. So it was like, you know, France was up there, and it was, you know, it was a couple of dudes that, you know, really just dumb that I really met that was worthy of meeting in that house. You know what I mean? So I didn't have to go through, I didn't look at it as a Brooklyn house. I just looked at it as they just let me rock. You know what I mean? I ain't pressed nothing, they just let me rock. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So now, but check this funny shit out. That's why I see you can't never get too comfortable. In the midst of them letting me rock, you know what I mean? I'm getting on the phone, I'm rocking, you know what I mean? Everybody, it's a family thing. But now, it was this one kid that was a day room dummy. I don't know why I befriended this motherfucker. But I befriended him. We start playing cards. He taught me how to play casino. And every day he would show me how to play this game called casino. You know what I mean? Boom. And then one day, just so happened, you know, and then it got to the point where I'm letting him use some of my time on the phone. And his name was Tiny, some shit like that, from Queens. I know he was from Queens. He wasn't on the people's list. He wasn't people's at all. He was just somebody I happened to like. But he never came out the day room. On certain days when dudes locked dudes in early, he was one of the dudes that locked in early. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I wasn't in a position really where I can really, you know what I mean? Boom, I was rocking. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just keeping it official. So this one day, everybody was out themselves in the day room. You know, police be with the shit. So dudes call themselves jumping everybody in the house that wasn't people's. Now, just so happened, Ring Dog was in the house. Ring Dog had came, a kid named Ring Dog from Albany Project, rest in peace, you know, to him. You know, he had came to the house and shit. And when he came to the house, I didn't know him. I met him through them or whatever the case may be. So he was rocking or whatever the case may be. So just so happened, they was jumping everybody that wasn't people's. And me, I was jumping dudes too. I ain't gonna hold you. We was just jumping dudes and making them lock in. But right while they was jumping, the kid that I was playing casino with, he obviously he knew. It didn't dawn on me till he mentioned it. He came to me, he was like, yo son, you think they're gonna jump me? I was like, nah, I ain't gonna let them jump you. I ain't gonna let them jump you. Alright. So boom, so everybody jumping everybody. As he jumping them, sometimes dudes were locking themselves. But the craziest shit, sometimes dudes that just finished getting jumped, they would get with the dudes and jump somebody else after they just finished getting jumped. You know what I mean? So just so happened, you know, it was just, I ain't gonna front, it was a field day. I'm snuffing motherfuckers too. Everybody, you know, boom. So it went to my man Tiny, whatever the fuck his name is, or whatever. So I was like, yo, chill. Not him. So I'm standing between him and the rest of the motherfucking house, like, chill, not him. So here comes Fangs, yo, what's up, man? That's your man? So I looked at Tiny, and then I looked at Fangs, and I was like, yeah, that's my man. The fuck, man, chill. So they pretty much left him alone. They started jumping up a motherfucking stairs, whatever. So now after everything was, you know, nobody else had jumped, You know what I mean? Boom, I'm standing in the corridor. Francis on the phone. I'm waiting for him to get off the phone, but I'm like further down, you know. And this dude, Tiny, he come walking up to me. He comes to me. He said, yo, son, I heard you was talking about me. Before I even got a chance to even think about what he said, the nigga, he two-pieced me.
You talking about the same nigga that you just saved?
Yeah.
This what the...
Yo, the motherfucker two-piece my shit. Boom, boom. Like, yo, I'm not even sure if them shits hurt it or not. But I remember looking at this motherfucker like I ain't never hesitate to get back at a motherfucker in my life. And it wasn't that I hesitated. It was just that I didn't even register what just happened.
You was just straight confused.
I just stood between you and 20 motherfuckers, man. And you just snuffed me. And I'm looking at this motherfucker like, but he knew he fucked up. You ever did something and knew you fucked up? Like, you ever, like, even if it committed a crime and after you got this eerie feeling in your stomach like, damn, I just know I fucked up. I saw it in his face. He knew he fucked up before I even landed the first blow to him. Man, I ain't never beat nobody that bad in my life. I beat this motherfucker up and down this gallery. But the more I'm beating him, the more I'm charged. Like, I wasn't really trying to beat him because I was trying to show off. I was fucked up. I was really fucked up. Like, tears is coming out my eyes. I'm tight. Like, I'm like, this motherfucker just snuffed me. So now, I already know nothing happens in that house unless, why would he just come snuff me after I just saved him from getting jumped by the whole house? It had to be somebody, one of the peoples, because nothing happened in that house. I remember like a couple of, maybe a month before that, or a couple of weeks before that, it was these 3 Spanish kids. They used to stay to themselves and shit. I ain't know them, they ain't know us. They used to stay, they ain't never pressed for no phone time. And one of them, they was kind of big, like he was like an adult already, bad tattoos. I think that was his name. But it was 3 of them. But they all stayed to themselves. And I remember, this is when I first got to the house too. And I remember, out of nowhere, we in the cell smoking bud, and we hear rumbling. So we all run out the cell, and 2 of the Spanish kids was beating up one of the Spanish kids. And he was like, he didn't want no problem. He was like, yo, I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck their dispute was. They wasn't peoples. They was just, we just saw them 2 getting it on with one. And the one that was in the C gate, the police let him in the A and B gate. He, like, I don't know what happened. So they took him out. While he was in the thing, you know, Ronald and them, yo, what happened? I don't know what the fuck they said what happened. But all I know is Ronald came out of nowhere. He took a broomstick. He hit the dude over the head with it twice. So he hit the dude over the head with it twice. Dude started bleeding out his head. The police like, yo, Ronald, what the fuck you doing? So he like, yo, listen, man. Yo, nothing happens in this house. You don't just, you know, you don't just pop on somebody without the permission of the peoples. Like, you just popped on somebody without permission. Like, you know, who the fuck is you? So, and the crazy shit is, the kid is like 2-time Ronald Six, the big dude, the dude that got the adult body with all the tattoos. He went, got stitched up, police act like he fell and hit his head and came back, and he come back to his cell. I mean, he come back to the house. By this time, we all in the corridor. When he come back to the house, the first thing he do, he look at Ronald and say, yo, my bad. How you saying you're bad to him when he the one that put stitches in your head? But I mean, it is what it is. But the reason for that story is because I'm getting back to the time when Tiny popped on me. I already know he ain't gonna just do that without, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Remember when I told you France was on the phone? You know what I mean? Boom. So when I seen them on the phone, that's the first one I popped on. Boom. But that shit was only like 30 seconds. Ain't nobody getting nothing off. He was more shocked than anything. But you one of the peoples. I'm seeing red at this point. I'm like I said.
So hold on. You said so after some snuffed you, you started popping on whoever?
No. What happened was after everybody, you know, like I said, people was getting jumped. Some people, everybody that wasn't peoples, got jumped that night. If you wasn't peoples, you was getting jumped. So everybody got jumped, but some dudes that got jumped locked in their cells. And some dudes that got jumped, only way you didn't have to lock in your cell, if after you got jumped, you started jumping dudes with the dudes that just jumped you. You understand what I'm saying? So now, that's the only way. So after that simmered down, you know, just like maybe 20 minutes later, nobody think about nothing. It's regular shit. I seen something like that happen before. So it wasn't really that, you know, it wasn't really nothing. You know what I mean? So I happen to be in I believe Fangs and all of them was in the day room. France was on the phone. I happened to be in the corridor because I was going to get on the phone after France got off. So while I'm waiting for France to get off, but I'm further down, I'm not breathing down his neck. I'm down further. The dude that I just saved, he comes out the day room. He was just in the day room with all of them. He comes to me. He walks right up to me. My guard ain't up. I just saved him. I ain't thinking nothing of it. He come to me, and he was like, yo, son. I'm like, yo, what up? He was like, yo, I heard you was talking about me. I'm like, what? Like, you know, it ain't like somebody I don't know, but I really don't know him, but I just saved him, so I'm not thinking about nothing. So before I got a chance to like think about what he said, he two-pieced me. And I still didn't like immediately react, because he two-pieced me and just stood there. Like, he just stood there. He just waited for the beat down. Like, you two-piece of motherfucker, you supposed to just keep following up. He just stood there, like, in front of me. But I saw it in his eyes. He knew he fucked up. He knew he fucked up. So I commenced to just beating the fuck out of him all the way up and down 2 upper gallery. You know what I mean? Literally, up and down. He tried to run in all kind. He tried to hold on to the side of the door. I'm touching him all in his face. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Police finally break it up. But when police break it up, like I said, I wasn't fucking this motherfucker up because I'm trying to prove a point. I was really tight. Like, I got tears coming out my eyes. I'm wailing like police, like chill, like people that got jumped didn't even act like you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wailing. This motherfucker just snuffed me. So as police was like kind of like walking me to the day room, son on the phone. So when he on the phone, I just popped on him. So once I pops on him, or whatever the case may be.
Who you talking about was on the phone?
France, he was on the phone.
So you just popped on him because you felt like the people sent that nigga at you?
I already knew they did. And I found out I was right. I don't know of him per se, but I didn't give a fuck. Me, that's my bro. That's the comrade all day. Like, it wasn't like 5 minutes after that, we all laughing and joking about it or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But I was tight. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So, like I said, nobody got nothing on because police was right there. So now, it's not like they sanctioned this shit. You know, whatever the case may be. Like, if they need to sanction some shit. So I'm in the day room. I'm tight. I'm mad. Things like, yo, listen, I was trying to show you that you talking about somebody's your man. It only took me 30 seconds to make them flip on you. Man, you could have proved that point another way. I wasn't trying to hit none of that. I wasn't trying to hit point well taken, but you could have proved that another way. Throw your shit up. So now me and him fight. You know what I mean? Boom. So now, once me and him fight, and that's my comrade. You know what I'm saying? Me and him get to start scrapping or whatever the case may be. And we got our shit off or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Boom. That's the comrade. Salute the fangs. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Shit was over with the case may be. We both got our shit off, whatever. So now I kind of started a trend. So now police is on some shit where everybody who got jumped could pick a motherfucker to fight who jumped him or whatever the case may be. One motherfucker actually picked me. And I'm looking at this motherfucker like, I understand I'm not one of y'all, but on this night I'm on y'all side. The fuck is you picking me for? You're supposed to be, I'm one of the peoples, but you pick other peoples, not me, because I'm fighting the peoples too right now. What the fuck are you doing? He picked me, he got his ass washed, you know what I'm saying? Boom. This man, it was this one kid, I gotta mention him. His name is Mo Better. He from the Bronx. Shout out to Mo Better if he hit us. You know what I mean? Boom. I didn't know his name was Mo Better then. I actually bumped into him in Sing Sing in 2018, but I'll get into that. I remembered him from, and I'm gonna tell you why I remember him. You know what I mean? Boom. Remember when I told you they was letting dudes pick dudes who to fight? Mm-hmm. So now he was one of the dudes that got jumped. Now he was like one of them short, stocky motherfuckers or whatever. So when police actually punked him to fight, like, yo, pick somebody, man. You got some size on you, man. So he's standing there trying to, like, he afraid to pick somebody, one of the peoples, or whatever the case may be. So Ring Dog was there. Rado wasn't on set this night. I believe he was in court. He wasn't. That's why I ain't mention his name. But he was in the house at the time, but he wasn't there. But anyway, motherfucking I know Ring Dog was there that night. So Ring Dog volunteered himself. Like, you know what? I'll fight him. Like, you hesitating on picking somebody, I'll fight him. Yo, I ain't never seen a motherfucker in my life lose a fight in such a gangster way, yo. So the kid Mo Better. Like I said, I ain't know his name at this time, but you hear that how that kid be talking about Shaw Wells?
Yeah.
I ain't saying he on Shaw Wells level. I ain't even gonna go there. Or somebody like Nick Ayel. I ain't seen. Yo, you know what's crazy? Let me get off the topic real quick. It was said that Nick and Shaw Wells had a fight before. You ever heard about that?
Nah, I never heard that.
Yeah, I heard about that shit, man. That's like one of them legendary Rikers school building stories. Like, you heard about the Chinese kid that beat up all the fucking turtles or some shit. Like one of them stories that you just keep hearing. I know, but I heard them two had a fight. Now, I heard about Shaw Wells' knuckle check. Nick, his shit is very well known in my hood and wherever else he go. You know what I'm saying? But I heard different stories over the years about that shit. You know what I mean? Them two having a fight. But anyway, that's another story. I ain't hear nobody mention, so it might not be true.
Mick, if you out there and you hear this, we need to know what's going on, Mick. But Mick, shout out to Mick, man. Mick is from my building.
Shout out to Shaw Wells, you know what I mean? But them dudes,
shout out to Shaw Wells, definitely, man. But I mean, both of them niggas is legends.
You know what I'm saying? I came through, them dudes' name was already ringing bells. They ain't even noticed me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just coming through. So now, but check it out. Read my name because, like I said, the kid, getting back to the kid Mo Better. Yo, it's a difference between winning a fight. Like you ever seen, I don't care if two people don't know how to fight. Somebody's gonna win. You know what I mean? It wasn't that he won the fight. You could tell he had a skill. Like, he was doing some shit on Ring Dog. You know what I'm saying? And Ring Dog got hit so many times, he just was like, yo, hit me again, I'm gonna cut you. Like, literally. Like, I ain't never seen a dude lose a fight in such a gangster way, bro. He's like, hit me again, I'm gonna cut you, and Son just froze. Like, I already know if Son would have chose me, that's the one fight that night that I would have fucking lost. I could tell. Not only because he was bigger than me, he had a skill that I just knew that I wouldn't have been able to fuck with. I seen it. You know what I mean? I seen it. You know what I mean? If I had the skill he had, his name's supposed to be mentioned along the lines with Shaw Wells or Nick. But it's crazy because it was a skill that made me remember him. I didn't see him no more from 92 all the way to like 2017, 18 when I was in Sing Sing. I bumped into him and I ran and I was like, yo, Son, yo, you was on Rikers Island in 92? Yeah, yo, you had a fight. He remembered that night. He was like, yeah. I said, you still got skill? He's like, yeah, he's a little older now. Body he got a little size, shit was solid. You know what I'm saying, boom? But I remembered him. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he told me his name was Mo Better. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, sperm lover. You just on here to love sperm, my nigga. That's all you doing. You just loving good sperm. That's all you doing, my nigga. You came on here, nigga. I've been online for 30 seconds. You on here like this. Yo, Yo, you begging for Cash App?
Yeah, man, that's me arguing with one of my haters and trolls. I mean, my dude, Sperm Lover. We call him Sperm Lover, man. I mean, you know, sometimes I get a little crazy on live. I gotta delete them because I don't want nobody to rat on me. So join that Patreon if you want to hear how I be violating these dudes, man. You heard? Z-Man, Suicide Polo, the Ski Man. Get at me.